Hello, welcome to day 6 in this PHP web framework ultimate tool creation vlog series. So we were doing a commenting system. This is actually part 4, I believe, in the commenting system. And let me just open this up. So it's on a commenting system, and I'm also going to open up GitHub. So GitHub, we'll go to the docs, go to notes. See if that's no, nothing to do with PHP web framework. Okay, in the previous video what we had done was the nested comments, and that was fantastic. Now what we want to do is be able to post to a comment. Post a comment to a particular post. So that's just going to be a root comment, not a response to anything. So what we're going to do is quickly going to get Bootstrap, because that's what we're just using at the moment. But I will disable stuff. It's just easier to show. If I go to import groups, and I want the text area. So now it's just called text area, the element is, but I just want it looking nice like they have in here. So text. Avoid using text area elements. Here as their rows, attributes will not be respected in some cases. So that's great news. I'm going to use it anyway, in all fairness. So I'm going to put something like, copy this, and this would realistically be right at the top, or sort of be here, I guess. Actually, probably best to put it here. So instead of, let's just see what this looks like at the moment. No, that's not what we want at all. What we want is a text area. So we want type, nice, it's actually a text area, don't need a type. Don't think we'll even need a form class. I don't think we need any of this actually. We will need a what's it called in a second though. A form. Without a form, we could submit it, but forms are cool. So I'm using a form. So if I save that, refresh, okay, that's all good. And what I'm going to do is just add a class of code-xs-12, so it spans all the way. And now I'll put that with see, really I do want to keep this as bare bone thingy as possible, like Bootstrap, so I won't actually do that. What I'm going to do is put a form, so form, and for the form this is going to be, I'll go for the register form. See the way we did it here. Okay, so actually you know what, I'll copy and paste this, just probably save some time, and then just modify this accordingly. So I'll put this down here, happy with that, cut that, and I'm just going to get rid of all of these fields in all fairness, put it here, actually I'll put it here. Should I echo out the comment? I could potentially if it's unsuccessful, but I'll have a look at doing that later. I should be adding a name and an ID. So name equals comment text area, ID equals comment text area, and this is immediately going to say comment for comment text area. Okay, don't need social buttons. Do need to generate a token Actually, no, I don't want. Yeah, we want this button here. Don't want actually a recapture form. You could add this and it wouldn't be that hard to implement, but I'm gonna omit that. I don't want that at all. So instead of naming it register, this is gonna be name. What does I want to name it post? Post comment. Post comment and post comment. Refresh, and we got our. It looks terrible. Div. Save that. Refresh. Okay, so we got this. Obviously, this just basically this keeps going back to this page, but we haven't handled any of that stuff yet. So what we're gonna do is get rid of this actually, and what we need to do is if we go to the registration page, and we can copy a lot of the code from here. So if input exists, so we want, you know what, I'm actually going to copy this entirety of this if statement and just rip out what we don't need to. It might actually potentially be worth at a later date creating. I said I was going to create templates. I was going to create these views more as tests essentially, but it could be examples of how to do the input, because obviously this is an example. There's quite a bit here though, and a lot of it's junk, whereas once you know how to use the validate class, you don't need all of these different ones. You can just put what you need to. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, go to commenting, and that should occur before, so here. So if input, and instead of register, it should be post comment. Okay, I'm happy with that. Validate, I'm only actually validating one piece of data, and that is this here. Where is it? Comment text area. Comment text area, and I'm going to say call it comment required, obviously. Doesn't have to be email. Numeric, no, it could be numeric. And we'll put min and max values. Min value, it depends on what sort of comment you want. I'm gonna put a 1. Max value, whatever the max value for, what did we store? We stored it as text. MySQL text size, 65,535 characters, so 65,500. You couldn't modify this so if you want it shorter, but that's what I'm going to do. And it's required. Is there any other sort of validation we actually require? So if I go to validate, see what we've got built in. Numeric, URL, email, exists, we've already done. Unique, no. Matches, no. Yeah, okay. I think we've pretty much got it sorted in terms of validation. I still feel like these methods could, I mean, these bits of code could be abstracted, because if, let's say, you merely wanted to check, like, really quickly, using, let's say, a validate class, the, what's it called, if this had a min length, you could just call this method, and in here it would be the method call. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna abstract it out. It'll probably be after the blog, in all fairness. Actually, I'll probably do it after the commenting system, before the forum. I'll just get that sorted out. Shouldn't affect the rest of the code. It just means we have validation in a sort of easier way to access. So abstract validation, and let's put this as a label. Remember, I want to start using orange instead of yellow now. Don't know why I started using yellow. And I want to do, I think that's it really. Let's move this all the way to the top. The rest are fading out quite a bit because they're quite old. Okay, so if we go back to here, get back to commenting, and okay, happy with that so far. It's required, yes. It has a minimum, yes. It has a, can I have a max? Yes. There is no reCAPTCHA testing, so I can remove that now. So that would mean, and I can merely re-indent this. Oh, shit. There we go. Validation, otherwise we'll print out the errors. That's fine. I'm happy with that result. And we're not doing any social login, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so in here we don't need pretty much none of this rubbish. All we actually need is this here, comment TextArea. So validation would have passed by now. We don't actually need to do anything with emails. User create. Not really, don't need to do anything with that either. So a lot of this will be replaced in a second. So what I'm going to do is go back to the commenting class, and in here we're going to have a public function insert comment, and this obviously requires the comment itself, and in here we would insert it. But we got database access, yes. And we did initialize it, yes, obviously, because we've been using it. We go back to the user class, just copy and paste some code for insertion from here. So insert. So if I get check if user exists in regular database, if not add, create. I'm just trying to think, okay, what the difference between the create and the insert one was again. Okay, that's part of this, so create. So, okay, this was as part of this method. So I'm going to go back to insert, and realistically, if I get this, actually we got here user sessions, but I'm pretty sure if we go to config, we got the name right here. So why are we getting it from there? That's a stupid, that is. So I need to add that as a thing to fix as well. Make sure all DB table names that exist in configs are being retrieved from configs. Otherwise, it's just it defeats the purpose of having the config file where you can just go in there, just change it once if you renamed it, which is perfectly logical to do, and you should be all good. But apparently not. So I will actually, I feel like, because the abstract validation isn't a bug, I feel like that's a bug, so I'm actually going to mark that as red. Should I mark bugs as a different color? I'm going to mark bugs as purple, and I'll put the priority as well. So anything with a purple is basically a bug, everything else is just priority based. I'm actually going to change the yellow to orange as well. Don't like it. So let me change that. Orange. 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 Okay, all good with that now. So back to the commenting system. If I go back to user class, create password reset. Okay, so I want to copy this into the commenting class. So for the fields, or we actually, oh no, we need quite a few fields. Forgot, we need IDs and required because that is auto generated, it's incremented. We need post ID, which we have, we do have here somewhere. Table name, load comments. When we load the comments, it is. For some reason we may not load comments. I think we should actually construct it with a post ID as well. $post ID, and I'm gonna do $_post ID. And now if I merely do $this post ID equals $post ID, and now I could literally just use it from here, but I'll just make a comment of it for now. This will not work because I haven't passed that in. So if we go to commenting, and when we are doing that, get comment for post ID, comment free. That's all good now. So if we go back to the commenting class, we are inserting the post ID, which we have now. We are inserting parent ID, optional. That could be a separate method for response. We are inserting the user ID. We are inserting time posted, auto generated. We don't have any editing functionality at the moment, so we don't need anything for that, but we'll put 0 for it, time edited, and then the description. So description, time edited, optional, otherwise 0. What I'm just making a note here is if we have it, then we put it. If not, we put 0 in there. I also want to make a note on GitHub that I want to do the ability to be able to edit a post as well. I want the core functionality in there, and then you can use that when you need it. Edit comments. Actually, I think that should come after. I think most of the functionality will be very similar between editing a response or a comment, because at the end of the day, if you're logged in as the user who has posted the response or comment, then the only editing that you can do is the description. You can't do anything else. Anything else that we add, and which is the only other thing that we would add, is the time edited would be auto generated. So I'm also going to put getter and setter to make it optional, because YouTube doesn't actually allow for comments to be edited, and you might not want to like that. On Sonar Learning we do. I feel like it depends on what sort of service it is, because on YouTube the comments are a big part of it, but that's not the main thing. Whereas on Sonar Learning, the forum section, the question and answers, that part of the website, that's what it is. For Stack Overflow, that's what it is. So it will depend on your project, and if we provide that functionality, it will benefit everyone all around. So if we go back here, post ID, tick, parent ID, don't have this, time posted, tick as in we have the data already, we don't need to pass it in or get it from somewhere. Time edited, insert comment. Insert comment, post comment. I'm going to say insert comment because that's more descriptive of what we're doing in terms of putting it into the database. Though from the user's perspective, they are posting it, but when I say user, I mean the front end user and not the developer now. So I think insert comment is a better word for it, or name for it. For the parent ID, I'm actually going to have that passed in as a parameter. So $parent ID, by default it is equal to 0. For the user ID, that will also be passed in, but there is no default for that. That does need to be valid. I also need checks. Check if user is the one logged in. I think that's a pretty obvious one. Do we need to do a check on the parent ID? Check if parent ID exists for the post. Now all we need to do is check if parent ID exists. Now it needs to exist for the post. It's just an extra layers of protection. Check if parent ID exists for the post. We need to check if there was another check I wanted to do on the parent ID. If parent ID is not 0, actually, if it's not 0, that's the only time we would check. Otherwise, we wouldn't check. Then we would check for this. But the other check we want to do, not only does it exist, check if parent current nested level is lower than max nested level, because obviously if the nesting level of the parent is the max nesting level, we don't want them to be able to respond to it. Like I said in the previous video, even though we obviously don't print out some sort of button here, there's no telling if the user were to just inspect element, whack in the code from one of these other ones, because obviously he's on a loop, the code will be very similar, and just try and fudge it and just try and do stuff that they shouldn't be doing. So we want to make sure that we get these checks. Depending on what sort of errors you want to provide would depend on you. I think I'm just going to say something has gone wrong, please try again later, because chances are if they've modified it and it didn't work, I think they know why it didn't work. Okay, parent ID, I think it's something else, but we'll have a look in a second. User ID, check if user is the one logged in. That's all we need to check at the end of the day, because yeah, that's all we need to check. Comment, time posted is auto generated, so don't need to actually do any check on that. And $time edited, I'm also going to do $time post. Nah, actually this should just be automatic, should be within the method itself, should never have to generate here, so then pass it in. $time edited should be something that's passed in. By default it's 0. and 2, 4, 6. Two of them are missing, which is the time. Yeah, post ID is missing because we've got it up here, and the time posted is missing because that's auto generated. So, okay, let's go back and have a look at the checks. Post ID, do we need to do a check on the post ID? No, because we're not getting the information from the user, so it's already there. Do we need to do it on the parent ID? Yes, aka these 3 checks here. Do we need to do it on the user ID? Is the user the one they logged in? Yes. Do we need to do it on the time posted? No, that's auto generated. Time edited? Not really. The only one we could potentially do is check if time edited is not 0. If it isn't 0, check if, I was gonna say you could check if time edited is less than the server time, but I mean the one passed in. I think that's going too deep into it, so I think you might not want that. So check if time editing is not 0, that's fine. Don't need to check for that really, because if it's 0, we'll just post it in. If it's not 0, then we'll post whatever that is. For the description, what check do we need to do for here? Don't need to do any check because we've done the validation in terms of it's required at the min and max value. Don't need to actually do any extra validation on top of that. So we're posting these 6 items into here. So that's going to be post ID, and this is going to be $this, $this, and we're not going to have a salt. What we're going to have is a parent ID, and this is $parent ID. We're going to have user ID, and for this it is $user ID. Oh yeah, if any one of these fails, then we would just return false, and as a result that means something has gone wrong, and in the front end we'll just say error occurred whilst posting comment, please try again later. Like I say, if you do want to provide more contextual error messages, you can, but I don't think we need to, because we could add it to the error log. I just feel like we don't have to and don't need to at all. But saying that it is there for a reason. Okay, let's go back to commenting. Let's have a look. I've got the prints out the validation errors. Okay, that's that. No, that's just validation errors. We could check within here for the errors, but I'm just going to do an if and false, and that's it, because really the validation errors, or like the error sort of system that we got, using that object is worthwhile if you're doing a bunch of errors, but because we're just doing one basic error, this system will more than suffice. So return false if failed any one of these comments. Checks. I might actually potentially I might use the error system again. I could potentially do that. I'll have a look. I'll put it in square brackets. Potentially use error class, error object, error methods, error functionality built in. Okay, so we got parent ID, got user ID, time posted, and that is, well, we've already got it here, time. So where do we get this method from the user class? What was it doing? Start time, oh that's fine. What method do we have in the time class again? It's more just, none of that is of use. So, and we could put that current time method into the time class, but that would just be calling a method to call another, just one method and not actually doing anything. And yeah, there's no point in that. So if we go back to commenting, time posted is all good. We want something for time edited. Time edited, we want just the time edited that's being passed in. We don't actually have to put anything else. So for the description, we put description, time edited, description, and we can just put $description, and that is it. So for this, for the table name, actually we've got the database and we need to get the comments table. That should be name. And is that used anywhere else? So if we whack that here, whack it here. Is it used anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. So if I put that here, and that is it. So that should insert all the data into the database. Now realistically we need to start doing those checks. So check if user is the one that is logged in. So if I do $, make sure we've included the class and it is called user. If I do if, actually for insert comment, check if the user is the one logged in. That's for just for inserting a regular comment. So check if user is logged in. That's all we should do. Check if user is logged in. And I don't think we should even get the user ID, should we? I don't think we should actually get the user ID in here. I think we should actually get it from here. So if I were to just create $user equals new sonar / user. Let's have a look at one of the views. So if we look at index, how did we do it? That's the way we did it. Is logged in. So if we do commenting, if we go back to commenting, so first check we want to do is the user logged in? If not, then we are going to add to errors. So how did we add to errors again? What was the system? So if we go back to user, this add error, there we go. This add error. So I still feel like for the add error, I'm just going to put the 1. Error problem occurred during unable to post comment at this time. Please try again later. Okay, and as a result we'll do return false. End of. That's all we need to do. And we'll do the same for the other if statements as well. So if the user is logged in, if not, for the user, okay, for the user ID, I need to put a comment here. That's very important. I need to put, if they're logged in, I need to get their ID. So what was the method for getting ID? Was there a method for getting ID? feel like there was. Get. Actually, no, what we can do, I believe, is $data. What is $data? Underscore data. What is that storing? That's the first user. Is it being stored and defined using email address? Exists. Is only socially logged in. Find. How do we log in again? Let's have a look. Okay, if I go to the login method, login, do I call the find method anywhere? I don't seem to be. I want to go back to find. So it's calling social login. This is the constructor now. Else find. I'm actually positive that this will work. So what was the method called? Was it data? Data. So if I call that method from there, $data, and that was the first row, so I should just be able to get ID. So if I go to commenting, I should just be able to do data ID. Should be that simple. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine, because obviously you should theoretically never hit this if it's not logged in. So I'm going to put this as a tick. But what I'm actually going to do is actually easy way. I can put return true. I'm going to echo. Okay. If it is logged in, I'm going to return a string saying not logged in, and if it is, I'm going to put $user just to make sure we gain the right piece of data. Rather make sure we get the right piece of data than, you know, we be fudged and messed up. And I forgot, these should be at the end because you wouldn't know which one you're passing them to. So I actually only need to put comment in there. So all I need to do is echo out. If I go to commenting, PHP, and in, it's better just do it here. So $comments, insert comment, and for the comment I'm going to put some crap like that. I'm going to echo out break line. So if I go back, refresh, ooh, and I messed up on the commenting because this should not be because I'm already within the namespace. And now, okay, apparently we're not logged in, and that's not good if we're not logged in. I need to actually check if we are. I have not checked yet. I am logged in. So actually, if not logged in. If not logged in, otherwise it returns 4, which sounds about right. I doubt it would just be some random low number like that. Okay, that's all good. We're getting the right ID. That's all good, 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 good. I would return usually false here. In all fairness, I'm going to return all of this data just to make sure I'm getting the right data. There we go. That wouldn't have worked. So I'm going to return this. So we're not getting post ID. Did we pass it? Yeah, we did, because otherwise the method wouldn't have, it would have kept giving us errors. So if I go back to the commenting.php, it should be to this. Okay, post ID works. It's good that we're checking this, otherwise it would have messed up. Parent ID is actually passed in, so I'm not going to check that. Check the user ID. Time, yeah, it should be right realistically, but just to make sure. Okay, that seems very good. And for the description, save that, refresh. It should be comment, not description. What's it called in here? In the database it is called description, I think, but in here it is not. So good, good, good that we are testing this, otherwise shit would have messed up. So line 128, return $comment, undefined variable $. Okay, apparently didn't save. Okay, that sounds like what I put in. Wee. Was it? Yep, it was indeed. So, okay, that's good. I need to check if the parent ID is not 0. If, you know what, I can just do an else if, because realistically, if this fails, this check does, if that returns false, you should only check this check then. But on the other hand, you would never hit it if it's true anyway. So I'll do it like this. So if parent ID is not 0, so if 0 is not equal to $parent ID, then we need to check if parent ID exists for the post. So do I actually have that method within here? I don't think I do. I just got get comments, so I need a check if post exists, check if post current nested level. That shouldn't actually be too difficult. So yeah, that one shouldn't actually be very difficult at all to do. That bottom one shouldn't, because once we really got, yeah, because we've already got the method for actually we don't have get comments for ID, get comments for parent ID. What we want is get comments for post ID. Now this is get comments, we just want to get comments, so we won't need another method actually. Let me just finish my green tea. And there's more than I thought. So just give me a second. Be back. So what I was actually thinking was, how long has it been since I've been doing this particular video? 47 minutes. So I'm actually gonna end it in the next couple of minutes now. So end it here. Made good progress with it. This is gonna take a little bit longer, but we will wrap up posting a comment in day part 5 of the comment system, which will be day 6, I believe. Yep, day 6. And so what I'll actually do is make sure everything's saved, and I'll commit this to GitHub so you guys can check this stuff out. So let's open up GitHub. I know it's an internet application, I've opened it before. Opening Finder. What I also want to do is, where was it? Not go to folder. New Finder window, and I want to go to applications, XAMPP, htdocs, PHP web framework. Copy that into the code folder. Get rid of all of this, and I'm going to confirm that the view is updated. Which, in all fairness, didn't do many changes to these. So I'm gonna open in brackets. Sometimes Sublime does that. Yeah, that looks fine, and I'll confirm got the right one when we go to the classes folder and into comments. Yeah, that's fine. We're on the process of inserting a comment. Bar that, it is done. I can close this file. And that is it. Okay, so now go back to GitHub. Day. Actually, wasn't today day 6? Today was day 6, and let's have a look, but I'm positive that today was day 6. For some reason I'm not logged in. Yeah, today was day 6, so I'll see you in day 7 actually. So if I go here, day 6, code commit, commenting, system part 4, commit, sync, and I should be finished in the next few seconds really. This done and dusted. So thank you for watching day 6 of this creating a PHP web framework vlog series. As usual, the code will be is on GitHub. As you saw, I committed it, and that link is in the description. Plus there's a link to sonarlearning.co.uk, our free education platform, which you can find a whole heap of videos, over 15,000 free videos on there. And if you have any questions regarding this video or anything else, feel free to post it on there in the comments, Twitter, anywhere that you can find to contact us. On our education platform is always the best way to try and create a community there. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for the code, for ideas to put in there, anything, we really do welcome it, because we want this to be a community project, something that advances the community and is made and is for the community, made by the community for the community. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in day 7, not day 6, day 7.